Okay, let's be real for a second. You love your friends, you absolutely love your family, you genuinely get excited to have them come over. But then, the minute they leave, you feel completely and utterly wiped out, right? Like you've just run a social marathon. Ever stop and wonder why that is? Well, you are definitely not alone, and the answer, it turns out, is way more fascinating than you might think. It's such a weird paradox, isn't it? You can have an incredible time, filled with laughter and great conversation, but the second that door closes behind them, you just collapse on the couch. And sometimes there's this little voice of guilt, like, what's wrong with me? Am I a bad host? Am I secretly some kind of hermit? It's a super common feeling, but the reason behind it is usually a total mystery.
And this is where it all starts to make sense. Check out that key phrase, neurological disruption. That little phrase changes everything. It suggests that what's going on isn't just about social etiquette or how much you like someone, it's biological. It's about what their physical presence does to your brain inside your most personal space. So let's pull back the curtain on this whole puzzling feeling. We're going to get into the science of what we're calling guest stress. And I promise you, this isn't about you being a bad friend or a bad host, it's about biology. This is probably the most important thing to get from all of this. It's not you, it's your brain. That feeling of being constantly on the entire time someone is over, that's your brain automatically shifting into a state of high alert. And you don't even have a say in it. It's a subconscious process that we're about to break down.
So this high alert mode really boils down to two main culprits, two processes that are sneakily draining your mental battery without you even realizing it. Let's get into what they are.
Okay, first up is something called territorial stress. Now, I know that sounds super intense, right? But it's actually a very subtle, low-level thing. Think of it like a primal instinct. Your home is your nest, it's your ultimate safe zone. When another person, even a very welcome friend, enters that space, a part of your brain you don't even control just kind of kicks into gear. It goes into a state of hyper-awareness. It's not about them being a threat, it's just awareness. Your brain simply can't power all the way down. And the second culprit? Oh, this one's a big one. It's social monitoring. You can think of this as your brain's hospitality software, and it's always running in the background. Are they comfortable? Do they need a drink? Are they having a good time? Oh, was that joke funny? Even with your best friends, you're constantly running this program, tracking their experience, making sure everything's going well. And let me tell you, that is a massive, continuous drain on your cognitive energy. So let's just put this side by side. When you're home alone, your brain is in recharge mode. Your resources are building back up, the cognitive load is super low, you are fully relaxed. But then you add guests to the mix and bam, the whole system flips. Your resources are now draining, you're operating under a high cognitive load, and you're in a state of constant monitoring. That exhaustion you feel at the end of the night, that's not in your head. It's a very real result of burning through neurological energy. Okay, but this brings up a really important question, right? You need a friend for coffee, out in public, and you don't usually feel this level of drained afterward. So why is having them inside your own house so profoundly different? What is it about your home specifically that cranks this effect up to 11? Well, the answer lies in the very unique psychological role your home plays in your life. It is so much more than just a roof over your head. For your brain, it is the one designated decompression zone. It's the only place in the entire world where your brain is supposed to get a real break. And think about what that means. A decompression zone has very specific roles. It's a place where performance is not required. It's where your cognitive batteries are meant to recharge. It's a place where you have a sense of total control and predictability. And most importantly, it's where you can finally take off your social mask. But a guest, no matter how wonderful they are, they disrupt every single one of those things. Suddenly you have to perform, you're draining energy instead of recharging, and you've introduced a big dose of unpredictability into your sanctuary. And that last point about the mask, that's the real kick. This brings us to the most relatable part of this whole experience, this social mask. We all wear one, right? We wear it out in the world, at work, at the grocery store, at parties, and it takes real energy to keep that mask on. And here is the central conflict. Your home is the one, and I mean the one place on earth where you're supposed to be able to take that mask off completely. It's where you can be your weird, unguarded, unperformative self. But a guest, just by being there, requires you to keep that mask on, or at least partially on. And the mental cost of having to perform inside your own sanctuary is incredibly high. That is the deep exhaustion you're feeling. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that your feeling of being completely drained after hosting is 100% valid. It's not a reflection of your hospitality skills. It's not a sign you don't love your friends. It is a fundamental neurological response to having your brain's primary rest and recovery zone temporarily turn into a zone of performance and high alert, so you can stop feeling guilty about it. And that leaves us with a final thought to mull over. Knowing that there's a real neurological cost to hosting, how do we balance our deep need for a private sanctuary with our equally important need for social connection? Of course, the answer isn't to just become a hermit and never have anyone over again. But maybe, just maybe, understanding the price of admission can help us better prepare. It can help us give ourselves permission to truly, deeply recharge once our home is finally our own again.